I hear too many excuses from able people that they want to do something, but they're not getting it done. You yourself have to change your mentality in order to be able to do these things that you want to do and achieve these things that you want to achieve. The only person that you can blame is going to be yourself at the end of the day, because application is everything. Things aren't just going to come to you even just because of your mentality. You still got to get out there and try to get things done yourself. I've said this many times before. Luck isn't just a situation that you end up in just simply because of the world aligning, just for you, that simple moment. Nah. Luck is typically a testament to all the work that you've put in up to that point, because you've prepared yourself for that moment in order to be able to conquer that moment and succeed, to further endeavors. That's how I look at luck. Luck, of course, is a variable that can happen for a lot of people. It is a serious thing in this world. Some people get supposedly lucky, but you got to understand, you can't rely on luck. You need to put in the work in order to get yourself in that situation in order to succeed and fulfill your future. You're not going to find any fulfillment in just waiting for that moment to come. You got to put yourself in the position to come across that moment in order to succeed. That's when you got to realize, if you put in that work to get yourself in that position, that's when your luck can put you up at that next level. But if you're not going to put in that work to put yourself in that position, don't rely on luck. You may as well just lay in your bed and not expect anything to come for you positively, because if you're not finna put in that work to get there, nothing's gonna come your way that you want, at least. Now you see me here right now, I'm doing my sit-ups. I've already done a workout today. I already hit the gym and everything, and I got my clips to prove it. I can even put them in right now to show you guys. But that's besides the point. What I'm trying to show you is that there's no excuses towards getting things done when it comes to anything that you want to achieve in life. You've got to get yourself out there and do it. I hear so many excuses. Even for an example, when it comes to working out, people will say they haven't seen results yet. It's taking too long. They don't know if they're going to see results. They can't see results. Blah, 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 blah. Well, you got to realize one thing. Compounding is not something that will just happen simply overnight when it comes to bodily results. We need to do things over a consistent basis, over a long period of time, in order to see an end result that we actually desire and would like to achieve. If you're not willing to go through those trials and tribulations, you may as well just count yourself out. But what's the point in counting yourself out? What does that do for you? You want to remain the same? If you're not going to progress in life, you're actually regressing by default, because the world never stops and the world is always evolving. So if you remain the same, it's just like money sitting in your bank account that isn't collecting interest, or even interest at a high enough rate in order for it to still have enough value as the years go by and inflation hits and your money and your cash actually becomes less worth than it was once worth before. If the world never stops evolving, what you got to understand is that if you don't evolve with it, you're falling behind by default. Time never stops. Like I say, the clock is ticking. That is the whole point in that being on my back on this sweater right now, on my Prove 'em sweater. You got to understand, you got to use your time wisely. Time is the one essence that we can't get back, and it's up to you to use it wisely. When you work a shift, you should not be going home and just simply doing nothing if you have the time to do something. Some people will go home, okay, they'll be dead tired, take a little nap, or rest for the night, but when you get up that next morning, understand that there's going to be tasks that you need to get done in order to uplift yourself and uplift the people around you. Uplifting the people around you isn't always going to be something that you say, isn't always going to be something that you do, but it can more rely on the way that you carry yourself, because then the people around you will treat you with a different amount of respect, and they will expect more from you because of the way that you treat yourself and the way you carry yourself. That is key. If you walk around committing these kind of activities that aren't looked that aren't favorable, in a way to speak, you know what I'm saying, by someone that carries himself by a high standard, how are people going to look at you? That's one thing that people need to realize. You got to carry yourself in a certain type of way that could be admirable by yourself, by people younger than you, by people older than you, so that way you put yourself in a different echelon that is already ahead of the rest, and people around you will see it, admire it, and choose whether they want to be like that. They should be aiming to be better, because that's how everyone is going to grow. You can't grow on your own. As much as, okay, yeah, you can grow on your own, people being around you that want to grow too is going to make your journey so much better, and you're going to see faster growth, because it's almost like within our human competitive nature You see people growing around you, you're going to want to grow at that rate too, and you may even want to grow faster, and then they're going to want to grow faster. And then it's like a tumbling effect where everyone's growing so much, everyone's so motivated, the results are undeniable and the results are inevitable. The results will be undeniable and they will be inevitable. They are gonna happen if you put in that amount of time in order to succeed at a task at hand. So big shout out to my guy Brandon Carter. I see him on podcasts that he be hosting himself now. I see him on other podcasts that I watch on YouTube, on Instagram. You know, check him out, definitely. But this is one thing that he mentioned that it just resonated with me very well, because he said if you're gonna kill a fly, you could use a little fly swatter, or I believe, okay, I'm not going word for word, but y'all get what I'm trying to get at. Just listen. If you go to kill a fly and you use only a fly swatter, of course, yeah, you can get that job done, but it may take you a while, you may miss a few times, and there's a possibility still that you may not kill that fly. But now, if you put a bomb in the building and you blow up the whole building, you're guaranteed to kill the fly. Now, there's no way in hell I'm inciting violence right now, but what I'm using in this analogy and what Brandon was saying is if you put in so much work that makes it inevitable to achieve that task that you want to achieve, how are you going to fail? It's almost impossible. He said that there's this mind reader or whatever that wanted to tell him his fortune. He said he knows his fortune. He doesn't need someone to tell it for him. He knows where he's going to be, because he's going to put in that work that makes it inevitable to get to that point. There's no other way. There's no other option. And that's how a lot of you need to think. That's how you need to see things. That's how you got to set yourself up. The only person you're failing at the end of the day is you. And the world is not getting easier. It's only getting harder. So what are you doing today to better yourself in order to make things easier for you and the people around you? Because that's what you're capable of doing. If you're not doing anything, things will only get harder as the world gets harder, and you're only going to develop that victim mindset that you cannot take on. Do not become a victim. We need to fight our own fight and become the greatest people that we possibly can be upon our own will. It's only up to us to do so. So my message to you after this video is, what are you waiting for? You gonna spit any more excuses? Are you gonna tell me exactly why you can't get something done for whatever reason? Because the truth is, I don't want to hear it. And realistically, no one else really wants to hear it too. They may listen in the moment, but it's not gonna change the world by you telling them that your problems. You gotta get out there and do your absolute best in order to conquer those problems. You know, move past it. Put them aside and deal with bigger and better things that will set you up in the future. Without adversity, there would be no growth. Embrace the adversity and grow correspondingly. Y'all know what time it is. The clock is ticking. Prove them later.